Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is day 5, the final day of the 5-day holiday gift fair where I am taking you through my guide. Okay, awesome to have you here. I love all the dones that everybody is putting on the replays all over the place. And if you're watching me anywhere, type done and I'm going to hunt down those replays so that you are able to win some of these amazing prizes that I am going to be announcing next week. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is just head to the Facebook group, and that's where the magic is happening, in the Moving and Reshaping Club Facebook group. And I am just going to pin this live under the featured section because this is where you can find all the replays. Okay, so let me just quickly see where we are going live today. There we are. So if you can see me and if you can hear me, please just give me a hello. Let me know that everything is working great. I have pinned it because today we are talking about some fantastic equipment. Okay, let me just make sure that that is all working good and then we will get going. All right, sound is good. Let's get going, and I will check the comments in the Facebook group, the Moving and Reshaping Club, if anybody has any questions about what we are going to be talking about today. Okay, so let's get going. I want to be mindful of everybody's time. All right, so welcome to day 5. This is the last day of the holiday gift fair where I am taking you through this guide, the 2023 edition of my ultimate holiday gift yourself guide that features over 40 gift ideas for women over 40 to get your stiff, achy, and changing body in shape and ache-free and aging audaciously. And remember to type done at the end of each workshop because I am gifting prizes and those will only be announced towards the end of next week. So if you're tuning in late to this fair, there is still time to join in and to watch and to type done. All you need is the link to register. I'll put this in the chat here and it is above. Let me pop it in the chat. I need you to register so that I have your contact details if you land up being one of the lucky people. Okay, and today's gift is free membership to the Reshape Method 2-week preview program, plus a private movement coaching session with me, where I get to see exactly what is going on in your body that could be causing your aches and pains. And you can check that out over here. Let me pop that link in. The link to check out the preview is also on my website, and I will be going over that in a minute. Okay, so today's gifts that we are going to be going through and that I'd like to highlight are on page, let's head to it. It is under the add weight and load section of the guide. That is page 8 of the holiday gift guide. I am going to be talking about treadmills and this core strengthening and arm toning piece of equipment that I don't know how I even lived without. Okay. It gives deep core strengthening in a way that no planks and crunches ever can, as well as arm toning that literally just takes you a few seconds. All right, so hang in. I am going to be talking about that. But first, let's talk about treadmills, okay? Because I know that the holiday season is often a time for us to, sorry about the blur, to invest in some big pieces of equipment. And treadmills are often something that people, think about doing. First of all, and I won't go into too much detail about it, people often ask me, what is better, a bike or a treadmill? The answer is treadmill. And if you want to know why, then we can have a conversation about that. But if you are looking to restructure and realign your body, if you're looking for a piece of equipment, you want to be going for a treadmill. But there are some caveats that come along with treadmills. First of all, what I love about treadmills is that it is walking. Okay, it is walking, and walking is the most fundamental, most amazing movement for the body. Like, the human body evolved and was designed to walk. All right, and when you are able to walk properly, your walk, your gait is able to keep you fit and toned and in shape and aging well. But, and this is where a bit of the caveat from the treadmill comes in, most women over 40 can actually no longer walk properly. And I'll go over what this means in a minute. But just briefly though, and if you want to learn more about walking and walking as exercise and how to start taking the right steps to walking properly, I run a Reshape Your Walk challenge, but I only run this twice a year. But if you want to go into more detail about what I am just touching on today, then you can check that out in my mini course, which is the Reshape Method Aligned and Kicking mini course. That includes the replays from my aligned and kicking workshop. Okay, and I will put that in the chat for you to check out, because there is some fascinating things that go into walking, and obviously I can't deal with them all in detail here. In summary though, your gait, the way your body moves, walking is about taking a step forward. Okay, so if you just stand up and take a step forward, let's try and just break down. We're going to break down. I'm going to do this quite quickly. It's covered in detail in the Reshape Your Walk replays, how you actually are able to take that step forward. What is the reflexive way to take that step forward is really, really indicative of what is going on in your body and how well you are going to age, and whether your aches and pains are going to resolve themselves. Because what most people are doing, just stand up and take a step forward. What most people are doing when they walk is you're kind of like shifting your weight onto one leg and then lifting your foot. People say, I'm lifting my foot. Yeah, how are you lifting your foot? You're lifting your foot by kind of bending a bit at the knee and then bending a bit here at what's called the hip flexor, lifting and really just falling forward. So let me show that to you sideways. The way most of us are walking forward is what's called a falling walk, which is just uncontrolled and using gravity. So shifting weight to one side, hinging, lifting, and falling, and kind of breaking our fall. That is the gait cycle that most of us only have now available to us. Okay, and so when we walk like that, we are missing out on the amazing benefits of walking. All right, and like I said already, movement in the other days workshops of this fair, movement, and then in this case walking, can either be the medicine or the malady. In other words, it can either be great for you or it can be part of the problem if you are out of alignment, and therefore your movement is coming from cheats and compensatory patterns. Okay, because the way that we actually should be walking, and I will just demonstrate for you quickly, is that instead of shifting weight over, hinging, lifting, falling, we should be doing this kind of balance motion on one leg. And I go into detail, and this is part of what I teach in the Reshape method. These are the balance muscles, because walking is a series of single-legged balances. So we're doing this hip this hip listing movement on one leg so that the other leg can swing through and lower down. Okay, and it requires really building up the strength, the range of motion, the movement patterning. There's a lot that goes into being able to walk from, I spoke a couple of days ago about how if you look at an animal walking through the jungle, that strength is coming from the hindquarters, right? So similarly, when we walk, our strength, our fluid strength should be coming from our hindquarters. Now, you don't want to be forcing it. There's a lot involved in it, and that is a big part of what we're doing in the Reshape method, is for you to be able to get what's called a posterior-driven push-off, this walk that comes from the back of your body rather than this falling walk that most of us are doing. Okay, so give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense, and then we will discuss how this relates to treadmills, okay? So now the best place to walk is outdoors on natural terrain with hills and variety. And again, you can check out why this is important in the Reshape Your Walk replays. There are many reasons that go into that, okay? But the one that I want to focus on right now is that movement of resistance that is required in the gait cycle, the movement of resistance as you kind of like, so if you've ever been like ice skating, or if you think of what happens when you are rowing a boat, how you are pushing back against resistance to propel the boat forward, the same with ice skating. So that is what we want in the gait cycle, this moment of resistance with the ground so that these muscles can come on and push you forward. That's why it's called a posterior push-off gait pattern. That is what we want to be working up to, okay? And that is when you are able to do it in your body, what happens when you are walking over natural terrain. And it's that resistance, that pushing back to be propelled forward rather than this falling forward, this uncontrolled motion that is giving you all the amazing, strength and healthy living and audacious aging benefits of walking, and why it's so important to walk outside once you are able to walk properly. Now, there may be many reasons why it's not appropriate for you to walk outside. It may be too hot. We have some members in the Reshape method. We had a member in Dominican Republic, and it was just way too hot for her to walk outside. It may be too cold. It may be too icy, like where I am in Toronto. There are many months of the year where it's just so icy outside that you're not really going to get the benefits of that gait cycle, because first of all, I don't want to take a chance of slipping and breaking a bone or getting a head injury, which happens. And also when your body is guarding so much just to make sure that you're not going to slip, you're not really, getting the benefits of that walk. And, in other places, it may also be too unsafe to walk outside, in which case a treadmill is a great option. But if you have an electric treadmill, if you decide to go for an electric treadmill, then you need to be aware of what's happening with that treadmill. With an electric treadmill, that belt is moving towards you, okay? So what often happens in terms of that is that you are walking to keep up with the belt and really powering through the quads and the hip flexors, which is reinforcing this falling walk, which is really the cause of a lot of issues in our body, because that means you are walking with muscles and gait patterns that are not meant to be moving you. The movement is meant to come from the back of the body with the legs swinging behind you rather than lifting and being controlled by the quads and the hip flexors. So if you're moving really fast on your treadmill, it's easy to maintain that kind of gait cycle, and then of course with cycling, which is not a natural human movement, do it if you love it, but you need to walk too. With cycling, it's also very much about hip flexor and quads, okay, which is why if you are into this whole concept of reshaping and realigning your body, I prefer walking outside, and then second is treadmill walking. And if you're going to be doing treadmill walking, then what you want to think about doing so that you aren't moving into this falling walk pattern is slowing down the treadmill a bit and increasing the incline to where you can manage, to where it's comfortable, but that's going to allow for the back of your body to just turn on a little bit more as you walk and get that motion coming from the back. Not ideal. Walking on natural varied terrain is the first prize, but if you're going to use a treadmill, slow it down, increase the incline to where you can manage, to where it's comfortable and you can feel the movement coming from your butt, okay? And then another option, and something that I mentioned in the guide, is you can think about getting a manual treadmill, because manual treadmills are also a bit cheaper than electric treadmills. And because there's nothing moving the belt, you need to move the belt on that manual treadmill. You're really going to feel this resistance, this backward motion to be able to move the belt. So Manual treadmill is a great option in terms of that. Okay, so give me a 1 in the chat if that little treadmill conversation makes sense to you. All right, so next gift that we are going to be talking about is the piste de resistance. Okay, it is the ultimate strengthening and toning exercise or movement for your core and arms, and it only takes 20 seconds or less, and it does not involve crunches or planks or any awful things like that. And that is hanging. Yeah, hanging, okay? And using a chin-up bar to do that. You can see over here in the guide, I recommend a chin-up bar, all right? Now, stay with me because I'm going to show you how to do this because it's like, whoa, hanging. I don't have upper body strength to even, most women do not have upper body strength to even do like pretty basic things. So you want to be going into hanging just like we spoke about shoes in a transitional way. And it took me a long time. It took me a long time. The slower you go, the better, because you absolutely do not want to get injured or cause any kind of injury, especially because women at our age and stage are very sensitive through the shoulders, through the upper body. You know, things like frozen shoulder are very, very common. But the thing is that hanging is one of the most basic functional movements that the human body was designed and evolved to do. Okay, other things are like walking, climbing, crawling, squatting. These are all things. And hanging, things that the body evolved over millennia to do. And if we don't get those things in our lives anymore, as modern human beings, there are consequences to that. And there are very few, I would say, like no natural movements in our day that require us to use the muscles, the movement patterns, the fascial trains and slings of hanging, which is why you want to be able to throw it in your day, because we're really missing out on the benefits. All right, so now the best place to practice hanging is a chin-up bar, and I'm going to show you and demonstrate how you do that. But there are some big caveats that come with this idea of hanging. And the first is that you need to have improved your overall alignment, core engagement strategy, and arm range of motion with a corrective exercise-based program like the Reshape method. All right. And then the next thing is that you want to be able to take it slowly to transition, because what I see a lot of people doing when they hang is that they go in like this. First of all, it's lifting of the rib cage. The rib cage is lifted. We need to keep the rib cage here because that is what works the core. And hanging is a very, very intense core exercise. It works your deep, deep core when you are in proper alignment, right? So what happens is that often, because in hanging the arm is right above the head, for many women over 40, we have very limited arm range of motion. What we don't realize is that our arm and our rib cage are often locked together. So when we lift our arm over our head, we bring our ribs up to give us more range of motion, because if your natural range of motion is only here, okay, you're not really going to be able to hang. So to get your arm above your head, we're going to cheat by going like that. Now my arm's gone taller, but I haven't actually moved my shoulder at all. I've just lifted my rib cage up, turned off my core, because in order for your deep core muscles to work properly, your rib cage needs to be here. Okay, so we want to do some work, and I'm going to show you an exercise to start working on the arm range of motion. And I am going to show you how to start adding what is called supported hanging to start to get that strength, not only into your arms, but also into your hands. Because the thing with hanging, what puts a lot of people off hanging and where it's going to hurt the most is the skin in your hands, right? Your calluses are your friend. You want to work up to getting calluses. And so although you may have strength to go further, you may not have the toughness in the skin in your hands to go further. So a lot of this transitioning to hanging and going through this phase of supported hanging is to get tougher in our hands, okay? And then over time, and then in conjunction with doing an alignment reshaping and movement repatterning program, something like the Reshape method, you'll be able to get your feet off the ground. And then this becomes the power move that you can just throw into your day that works your body really deep and hard, and that ensures that you stay strong and in good alignment. So let me show you. I'm going to open my door here and show you, and hopefully the family members don't walk by. Okay. So you can take a chin-up bar, just like your average chin-up bar from Walmart. Let me just change the view on my screen so I can see myself better. I like this kind. You want to make sure, right, that, okay, let's get it up there. Always want to be sure, you know, when you're vertically challenged. There you go. You want to make sure that it is on properly and that your lintels are strong enough, right, to support your body weight. Oh, actually, I've got it the wrong way around. Okay, I want it this way. So I usually have it in a room where the door does not need to open and close, because it can be a real pain to take up and down. Okay, so there it is, your chin-up bar. What you want to do is grab a stool, okay? Grab some kind of stool so that you can stand on. Hands on the chin-up bar, and then with your ribs down, no popping up, okay, ribs down, arms above you in good widespread alignment here. You're then going to bend your knees but pull up. So the arms are pulling up, but the knees are bending, and you're just slowly starting to introduce the weight of your body to your arms, okay? Because we never really get this opportunity for your brain to actually calculate how much strength from your hand all the way through your arms into your core, into your back muscles are required to hold your body weight. So really, when you're starting off, this is all that you do. You just hang out here for a couple of seconds, and even though my feet are on the ground, I can really feel my deep core muscles coming on super strong, responding to this. What we don't want to do is that, okay? Or lifting the ribs. We want the ribs in good alignment. We want to be pulling up through the arms, but bending through the knees. And then you work on your strength here. And even this can be really, really fatiguing. And then eventually, over time, okay, over time, maintaining good alignment, you will eventually be able to take your feet off the ground and come into full hanging. All right. But we want to be able to really work up to that and take it super slow. All right. So let me put this down. Chin-up bar is the bomb. Okay. And people think that like the end goal, like you got to go straight to letting your feet go and hanging. No. Just bending into it, you're going to feel an enormous amount of strength developing through your arms, getting great calluses on your hand, feeling these deep, deep core muscles working as well as the muscles through your back. And really, you only need 10 or 20 seconds of that a couple of times a day. Okay, so let me know if hanging is something that you are going to want to think about. It was a total game changer for me. And I just want to show you one little exercise that we do in the Reshape method, one of the like more than 70 exercises that are weaved into these fun, enjoyable workouts to change your alignment, to get the range of motion. Remember, I said that the problem with hanging is the arm goes above the head, and we don't want the arm going above the head to be taking us out of alignment, because then you're no longer working your core, and then the hanging that you're doing is actually being completely counterproductive. So what you want to do is, I'm going to show you an example of a great move. And again, here we are using the amazing half round foam roller, which I spoke about in day one, which I said was the best $10 you are ever going to spend. And I'm going to show you a move called the windmill, which is helping to uncouple. We talked about conscious uncoupling in the Facebook group a couple of weeks ago. Uncouple the arm from the rib cage so that these two can move separately and not interfere what's going on in your core. So you come down onto the floor. You've got to put your head on your half round foam roller or some other kind of support so that your rib cage and your hip bones are in alignment. And then what you're going to do is bend one knee and you're going to roll over onto one side. My knee is on the floor for stability. You're lifting your arm up, really reaching for the sky, and then letting it drop behind you, keeping the shoulder blade wide. Okay, you're not going to let the shoulder. If I retract the shoulder blades on my back, like squeeze them together, it's going to get my arm lower. But that's a cheat. That's a movement cheat. So I'm keeping my shoulder blade wide, letting my arm hang, and then just moving my arm above up to my head and then down to just below shoulder length. You don't need to go too low. Just working on separating the arm motion from the rib motion. Now, you don't want to be back bending here. You want to make sure that your ribs are not helping you, trying to get more range of motion through this move. And you also want to be externally rotating your arm here. And I really like to do this move a couple of times a day, definitely at the end of some, a bout of computer work, because computer work really makes us sticky through the arms and through the shoulders. And you can see as I'm moving here, my hand is actually being able to drop closer and closer towards the floor without me retracting the shoulder blade. Okay, I'm holding onto my ribs so that they don't cheat. You want to keep your ribs into your body. Okay, awesome. Let me show you the other side. Okay, lifting the leg, rolling over so that the knee is down on the floor. Want to move your bolster to a good position. Arm is reached, and you can reach it up to the sky. Reach it up to the sky so the shoulder blade's nice and wide. And then you're twisting open, and you're only doing this move if twisting is okay for you. If any twisting through your spine, if you have something like osteoporosis and twisting has been, you've been told or you think that twisting is not good for you, please do not do this move, okay? And then I'm moving my arm up to my head and down just, and then you can find like a good, there may be a spot where you can feel that there's beautiful tension going on. You can just hang out there, lift your arm up and down. So this move will help you with your hanging, will help you maintain good alignment while you're hanging, because that's a really important part of being able to get the benefits out of hanging and out of supported hanging. Okay, and please, like, it took me almost a year before I was able to take my feet off the ground and hanging, but I was still able to get the amazing benefits of hanging by just having my feet on something. You don't want to rush it. Okay. That is windmill, one of my absolute favorite moves. All right, and now the last gift that I want to share with you today is 2 books that changed things for me forever. Okay. I mean, there are many, but these are the two most recent books, and they are The Oxygen Advantage by Patrick McKeown and Breath by James Nestor. All right. Amazing, amazing, amazing books. Now we work a lot on breath mechanics, on how the breath is meant to work in the body. And we do a lot of training of the muscles and movements, because breathing is movement. Breathing is a whole body movement. We work a lot on that in the Reshape method. And these two books really underpin and give studies and proof for the importance of being able to create good breath mechanics, which is often through improving alignment and waking up muscles in the rib cage so that you are able to easily breathe in and out through the nose at all times. We should always be breathing through the nose. And if you want to know why, then you need to read these books, because they are absolutely phenomenal. And you can't believe how such a small thing, by just making sure you are always breathing through your nose, even when you are exercising, right? That's what is so interesting. I have become fitter than I've ever been just by making sure that I do not open my mouth when I exercise. You've got to match. Often we can do more when we start panting, but then you're interfering with the whole mechanism, right? You can get fitter quicker if you close your mouth. So if you can read about that in The Oxygen Advantage, and read all about why breathing through your nose is the absolute game changer in breath. Okay. And I don't want to give too much away, but let me just read you some of these reviews. Okay. The Evening Standard says, life-changing, read it, and I guarantee you will want to change the way you breathe. All right. Full of dazzling revelations. I highly recommend this book. It's phenomenal. And says here at the back, there is nothing more essential to our health and well-being than breathing. Take air in, let it out, repeat 25,000 times a day. Okay, that is how often we are breathing. Yet as a species, humans have lost the ability to breathe correctly, with grave consequences. Okay, and James Nestor is a journalist. He does this experiment on himself and his colleague, and it is so well written. This is an amazing stocking stuffer, both of these. Okay, so that is it for today, almost. All right, because the last gifts in the Ultimate Holiday Gift Guide, right at the back here, are ways to join the Reshape method if that is something you are interested in doing. Okay, and the Reshape method is my corrective exercise-based system designed specifically for peri and postmenopausal women, and it's all about restructuring how your body aligns and reshaping how you move, so that getting in shape, being ache-free, and aging well is easy and achievable right now and well into the future. Because if we are in our 40s and 50s, we are staring down our 70s and our 80s. And what we do now is really setting the foundation for how we are going to be in the future. Now, there are two tiers to the Reshape method to suit your pocket. There is the full program and the essential program. And then I also have a 2-week preview where you can come and explore the workouts and movements, the group coaching and the private coaching, so that you can see what it is, and if this back to basics foundational approach is the missing piece for you too. Okay. And if you want to learn a little bit more about what it is, I do want to try and keep these trainings as short as possible, because I know they do tend to go on a little bit. Then you can head to my website. Let me show you where on my website. My website is tracysidercoaching.com. And if you go to this Reshape Method tab over here, then you can scroll down, and that is where you can learn all about what the Reshape method is, what's involved. Here and read about some reviews from awesome people who have joined us in the Reshape method, what the different pillars are, and what the different programs are that are included as well. Okay, so go to my website, tracysidercoaching.com, if you want to check it out. All right, because the price is going up in 2023. Okay, and I have made the 2-week preview available because what we're doing, what I'm talking about in the Moving and Reshaping Club and in the Reshape method and in the workshops we do, and we have a final workshop coming up before the end of the year, which is an immune boosting free movement workshop. So watch out for that. But my approach is very different. And so many people do want to feel, I want you to be able to experience what it is in your body, because often we don't even know how stuck and stiff and tight we are. We don't even know what it means to feel amazing again. Okay. And that is why I have the 2-week preview. And remember, one person who types done on today's training is going to be gifted the 2-week preview and private moving coaching session with me. And if you want to take a look at what is involved in the preview or to sign up and join us, then here is the link to do that. And remember, if you use the coupon code 10 off, you can get $10 off the, the coupon code $10 off is for the Aligned and Kicking course. The preview is currently on special, $100 off. You can read about that on the link until December 26th. Okay. Now, my last Reshape Method information session and question and answer session already ran last month. So if you would like to learn more about the Reshape Method, if you go to my website and it appeals to you, but you want to ask me questions, you want to know more, then please do book a call with me. You can book a Reshape Breakthrough Call where I can go through, you can take a sneak peek at what the Reshape Method looks like at the back end. And see if it is right for you. Really, it is a no obligation call. It's just a chance for us to chat, for me to take a quick peek at your alignment, if that is something that you would like, and to see if the Reshape Method is good for you. If it is not a good fit for whatever reason, because the Reshape Method is not right for everyone, I will refer you to a colleague or another program that is more appropriate for you. But you do want to take advantage of having a call with me before the end of the year, before the prices go up in 2024, okay? And on that Reshape Breakthrough Call, I will also be able to tell you about the amazing holiday specials and bonuses and savings that are included in the full and essential tier of the program. And now, I also know, for some people who are staycationing, now maybe, December may be a perfect time for you to do a preview or the essential, start the essential or start the full. But if this is not a good time, you still want to hop on and book a call with me, because you will be able to lock in 2023 prices and then pick a time in January for you to start your Reshape journey. So can't wait to chat to you. I open my calendar. I am staycationing. I am available right until the end of the year. So I would love to chat with you and tell you more about the Reshape Method. And I would love to know what you think of the Ultimate Holiday Gift Guide. And let me know in the comments if you are going to be Secret Santaing yourself any of these gifts, which one is really appealing to you. And, or if you're going to be hinting to your family and friends. I know a lot of people have said that the toe socks are an amazing stocking stuffer. Yes, they are. Love my toe socks. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for the 5-day fair. Wishing everybody a wonderful holiday, an amazing 2024, and watch out for the promo for our immune boosting free workshop that is going to be happening before the end of the year. It is a movement workshop, movement with an alignment twist. I hope to see you there.